Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Zebu Nation Plays the FM Scout Academy Challenge with FC Dallas. And here we are, Season 7, and what a season it's been. It's been such a busy season. So many competitions, it's hard to keep track of them all. But, we started out the season poorly, in my opinion. Well, I take that back. We started out the preseason pretty well. We played some very good, tough matches in the preseason to get ourselves ready. But then we suffered some early season disappointments, making it all the way to the semifinals of the Champions League, and then losing to our own affiliate team, Tigres, the juggernaut of the Mexican First Division. We lost to them in the second leg of the semifinals in the Champions League, and that kind of brought a downer to the season, which carried over to the beginning of the MLS season, and we played kind of poorly at the beginning of the MLS season. The good news is we've been able to bounce back. We got to this season's Champions League. We got a couple of wins going on in the group stage right now. We're expected to win that group. I think we're well on our way to winning that group. So we've got a bit of a renewed confidence, renewed energy. But I think the real catalyst for this season, the thing that's really allowed us to bounce back, has been the U.S. Cup. We've made a very, very solid run in the U.S. Cup. And that's what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about the finals of the U.S. Cup, Sporting Kansas City. It's a very difficult matchup. Let's take a look at our previous matchups. Let's go all the way back. There we go. So we started out, we had a 4-1 victory over San Antonio. Very good win. Came back a 5-0 victory over Portland. I mean, you can see that victories like that sort of raises everyone's confidence and gets the players excited to play in more of these games. Then we had a tight game against Real Salt Lake, only 1-0, but it was still a good match. It was still, you come out victorious, and a lot of times when you make a long run in these competitions, you got to win games like this. Got to win overtime games, penalty shootout games, close games. And now that brings us to Sporting Kansas City. It's a very difficult matchup for us. We've faced these guys last couple of seasons in the playoffs. They're very good. They got some very good players. But we've got some good players of our own. And the good news for us is most of those players are back from international duty. We had 7 players called up to the U.S. international team, both the senior team and the under-23s. I believe the under-23s are getting ready to for the World Cup, or no, not the World Cup, the Olympics. That's what the under-23 is all about. Yeah, they're qualifying for the Olympics right now, so we had a couple of our players called up to that. And in the meantime, what I did to keep the team sharp is I got a couple of friendlies, and that allowed me to play some of my other players, move some players around, bring a couple players up from the minor leagues. And so we played a friendly against San Antonio FC, local Texas team. Got a 0-0 draw versus them. And then we played our annual friendly versus Tigres, and we got a 0-0 draw versus them. So not the greatest results in the world, but it built fitness for our young guys, for our bench players, and that's going to help us move forward with the rest of this season, because we have so many games to play and we have so many competitions that we're in. We got to keep a fully fit squad, for as much of the season as we can. And that helped us in our last game. We played Los Angeles in the first MLS game we've had in a couple of weeks here. And we played a pretty rotated side, and we beat them handily, 3-0. So we're really dominating some MLS teams. And our performances this season, we've scored a lot of goals, and we've haven't conceded too many, or had too many of those games like this one up here, this 4-0 loss to Vancouver. We haven't had too many of those this season, so I think we're improving the depth of our team top to bottom. That's very important, especially when you get into all these competitions, as I mentioned before. But now let's take a look. I mean, I guess we could run down the checklist. Not a lot going on. Finances, fine. No problems there. We made $7.6 million this season. Not a lot of issues going on there. Job security, we're still very secure. We're back up to 65%, so we haven't quite got back up to that 70% range we were at last season, but still 65 is very good. Club-wise, same old going on. Transfer-wise, we might have some interesting stuff to look at here. Jesse Gonzalez, our goalkeeper. I don't remember if I mentioned this in the previous save or not. But we did trade we allowed Mexico, to buy Jesse Gonzalez. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this. For $1 million, 1.3 million total, after a couple of seasons or whatever, if a couple of bonuses are met, which I'm sure they will be. So we've been relying on some younger goalkeepers. Sanchez and Suarez have both played very well. There's not a lot of drop off. You see all those shutouts on the roster. So we've been playing well. Been playing very well. All right. I guess enough of that. Anything else? Oh yeah, we brought a player up from our academy. Well, no, not from our academy. We brought him back from loan. One of our top draft picks from last season, first round pick. I believe he was the 5th overall draft pick. Where'd he go? He's a central midfielder, of course, because we drafted all the central midfielders. There he is. Patrick Guldan, 21 years old, American box-to-box midfielder. He's already valued at $1.5 million. He came in, had a goal in his very first game. He had a shot from just outside the 22-yard marker or box or whatever they call that. Anyway, his long shots aren't that great, but it was a real cracking shot. So this is a guy who's very, very interesting. He's incredibly fit. He can run all day. He's got stamina for days. Very good agility. But he's the most determined player I've ever coached at any level. 19 determination. This kid is just driven to be a great player. That's his personality even. He has got a driven personality. He's got pretty decent work rate, passing, free kick and first touch are okay. But he's a guy, I think he's just going to improve. He's going to do nothing but get better and better. So hopefully we can get him some more playing time. The other issue we've got on our roster is Victor Ulloa wants to leave. He's 30 years old now. He sees his time in the roster coming to an end. Problem is, the only teams that want him are second division teams, and I believe he's got too high of a salary for them. He's making $245,000 a year, and he's on the last year of his contract. So I think what these teams are doing is they're just scoping him out for when he's a free agent, and they'll pick him up when he's a free agent because nobody wants him. I've tried basically giving him away, and nobody wants him. So they're all gonna wait till he runs out of his contract. So basically, Ulloa is going to be unhappy until the end of the season, I think. He's doing okay right now, but I think once the promise runs out, because he made me promise him I would sell him. So I did that. I thought I could get rid of him, but I can't. So I guess we'll use him. I mean, we need him as a reserve. We don't need him as a starter. So hopefully he can at least play that role and be happy. But if not, we've got our young rookies in the midfield who can make up for that. All right, so that's enough intrigue and prelude. Let's get to the game here. Sporting Kansas City. Let's take a look at their team selection here. We should be pretty familiar with these guys, although their defense seems to be in the midst of some shakeup here. Watts, Hill, they still have Opara. How old is he now? He's 31 years old. He's at the end of his career here. He's down to 2 stars. Fabian Johnson, another elderly statesman here, 34 years old. He's still good, but look at the pace and strength, and his physicals are deteriorating at 34 years old. still have pretty decent players here and there, but they look to me, they look to be in a rebuilding phase. You look at Daniel Sturridge down here, 33 years old. He's still capable, but he's only got 8 pace now, 11 strength. He's going downhill. I don't think he's the fearsome striker he has been. He still has finishing in first touch, so he can still cause some problems if we let him. But I think if we put pressure on these guys, I think we can break them. So hopefully that's what we can do. Also, Sturridge right now is, I don't know that he's injured, but he's definitely fatigued at 83%. Got an injury there to Carrea, left defender. A lot of these guys look tired. George Hill is tired. So I don't know what kind of team they're going to bring to this championship. I don't know if they're going to bring their full force, but we definitely are going to bring our full force. Take a look here. We got pretty much our starting lineup. Sanchez in goal. He's still only 2.5 stars, but he's getting better every game. Improving a little bit here and there. He's only 24 years old, so he'll still get a little bit better. But in front of him, we have Kellen Acosta at right back, Miguel Angel Escobedo at left fullback. Escobedo is out of control again this season. I don't know what this dude's deal is. He's just fouling everybody in sight. But you know what? He's still one of the best. He's still one of the best defenders in North America. So what are you gonna do? And central defense, we got Alex Johnson, Sidney Valenzuela. Our #1 draft pick is now fully familiar with our tactics. He's been playing a lot this season, been getting better, steadily improving. He's basically first man off the bench these days in terms of our rotation. So no problems there. Van de Castile playing steady as ever at the defensive midfield. Rodolfo Guevara, our young academy player, only 20 years old, defensive midfielder. He got called up to the under-23 national team, so he's getting some recognition for his abilities. Very good. He's playing well. He's going to be taking over Ulloa's spot for the most part, although we're going to be rotating in many of our new central midfielders. So Guevara's still got some battles to compete, some battles to fight in the midfield. He's going to be competing with many of our other young midfielders, so got to watch out for that. Thompson, he's now one of the best midfielders in North America and still getting better, only 22 years old. I'm surprised I haven't gotten any bids for this guy, considering how young he is, how much he's improving. But maybe people know that I'm not going to let a guy like this go. He's our stalwart now in the deep line playmaker role. Zamora also got called up. He's only a 24-year-old attacking midfielder. He got called up to the national team. So he's getting recognized. He's now our team captain. So things are looking well for Zamora, our attacking midfielder. And then, of course, Alcantara, striker extraordinaire, and Ben Manning. Now, we just played Washington in our last game. That's why he's not here. I had to split up the striker positions just to have some firepower there against Los Angeles. But Ben Manning, he is growing by leaps and bounds. Only 19 years old, academy player from our very own academy, and we had to fight off some bids for him this season. Well, not this season, but just recently. It must have been the end of the transfer window because we had these 2 Portuguese Premier Division teams just battling over Manning. They just kept sending in bid after bid after bid after bid, all the way up to $3.5 million they bid for this guy. And it was tempting. I think in a normal save, I might have sold him off. But because this is the academy save, I mean, this is what it's all about. A player like this, who's from our academy, who's got the possibility to be, a world-class kind of player. Maybe not world-class, but close to world-class player. He's got that potential anyway. That's what this save is all about. We need these kind of players if we're going to win the Champions League. So now, we have 3 strikers or 3 defenders who we can count on as starters. Now we've got 3 strikers we can count on as starters with Ben Manning in there. You know, we got several midfielders we can count on. So, you know, depth-wise, I think we're very, very good, very, very solid. We should have enough depth to compete with just about anybody. So, the question is now, what tactics do we take against Sporting Kansas City? I think we'll go standard just to feel them out. I don't want to get too cocky, but we are going to close down a little bit. We're going to play disciplined and feel them out early, and then we'll decide the strategy after that, whether we go counter or whether we go control. That's usually what we decide on. Start with standard, see what's what, and then either go control or counter, and then if we get down and we need to, we go attacking. So here we go. Children's Mercy Park. I believe that is their stadium. It's Sporting Kansas City. The American Soccer Free Press, Evan Hewitt, an experienced and awestruck journalist. Wow. Both teams come into this one in good form. How do you rate your chances ahead of kickoff? Well, I enjoy these matches a lot. The players don't need any extra motivation. And they demand a high standard of soccer. I think we've got what it takes to win. How about that? How's that answer strike you, Mr. Evan Hewitt? He has a follow-up question. The absence of Stuart Cole is sure to be felt. Yeah, Cole is suspended, but you know that's fine. We got depth. How hard will it be without his services? We look good in training, and we're prepared. Standard issue response. Okay, so they are going with basically a 4-3-3 wide with a defensive midfielder. They did bring Sturridge in, so he's going to be tired, man. I don't know how he's going to play the whole game. Centeno and Sturridge. Gotta watch out for those guys, man. I'm going to close down on those guys so hard. It's not even going to be funny. Where is Centeno? There he is. Mark, close down. Sturridge, Mark, close down. We got to keep an eye on those guys. They're just too dangerous. I mean, we might as well do the rest of these guys too. It looks like maybe Watts is going to come forward or Johnson. I don't know. We'll see if they send their fullbacks forward. Now, I have to say that this formation, I've got the narrow formation, it does struggle against teams that send their fullbacks and wingers forward. That's our one Achilles heel to this strategy, is if a team, you know, Brazil did that to us in the World Cup. You didn't see that game, but Brazil sent their fullbacks forward and caused all kind of havoc with us, you know, because they've already got dangerous wingers. So once they sent their fullbacks forward as well, who are pretty talented, of course, being that it's a Brazilian national team. Anyway, we'll see what they do. We'll keep an eye on things. We might have to go counterattack. There's Acosta doing his defensive role. He plays very well out there on the wing. Nice foul to start the game. That's usually what happens, is either Acosta or Escobedo will foul somebody immediately upon entering the game. But that's okay. Free kick out there. Sanchez grabs it easily. I think he got that away from one of their central defenders who's having trouble getting back. See if Sanchez can beat him downfield. Manning to Escobedo wins it. Let's see what we got here. Build up of play here. Gets it to Alcantara. Get it out wide. There's Escobedo making the run. Can he get it to Manning? There it is. Ooh, nope, can't score. That was good defense. But that was a pretty good play. Pretty good play. If we can get more chances like that, I'll be definitely happy. Should encourage our players to try a short passing game. Okay. So maybe we should give our control game a try. There's not enough highlights yet to see. Do we want to go on the faith of our assistant coaches or not? Let's see. Manning heads it down. Yeah, they seem to be dropping back defensively here. Acosta to Alcantara, gets it back to Acosta. Let's see if he can find Manning. Manning's open. There it is. There it is, boys. Acosta to Manning. 14th goal of the season. That's crazy for a reserve striker. 14 goals. I mean, he's got him in all kinds of different competitions, obviously. I think he's only got 5 or 6 MLS goals. But still, look at him just sneak through the defenders. 3 men there, and he just beats them all to the ball. It's the header in the back of the net. All right. So we're looking good. Up 1-0. See what they do. See if they come forward or not. Watts to Noble. Sends it in. All right, boys. There's Sturridge tries it, but to no avail. Manning heads it on. Can't quite go after it, but he's being more of a target man these days. He's starting to use that physicality. Okay, they're starting to get highlights. I don't like this. Valenzuela, that was an interesting diving header. So that's 2 highlights in a row for them. All right, 35 minutes gone. That was pretty speedy second half there. Here's Alcantara, wins the ball back to Zamora. Check and see, they're not closing down too much, nor can they, because they have the 3 advanced players. It's hard to have a well, I guess they've got wingers, but I was going to say it's hard to have a real defensive strategy when you have 3 players up top. There's Sturridge. Oh my gosh. To Hogan. He's open in the box. Not much of a shot, though. And that's what I don't like about having wingers instead of strikers. If that dude was a striker, I think that would have been a much more dangerous play. So if you're going to go with the 4-3-3, I kind of prefer going 3 strikers. Does limit you defensively even more than if you have 2 advanced wingers, but still, it's just the offensive benefits are so much greater. There's Alcantara making a move. Double covered, but the goalkeeper was in fine position there. Couldn't make much out of that. All right, so that should be the end of the half right there. Up 1-0. Very, very good. Very, very good. Passionately. Make sure we see things out and ensure that our hands are on the trophy. Okay, so let's go control. Shorter passing, retain possession, work the ball into the box. Just, yeah, that should be good. Try to hold on to the ball as best we can. Run out the clock. Because, with Sturridge being so slow, I don't think we have to worry about him breaking down our defense one-on-one. They only have the 1 striker. So I don't think we have to worry about the counterattack too much from this team. If we can just control the ball, hold on to it till the end of time, we'll be good. There's Manning getting underneath it. He looks to be all alone, but he's going to take it on. He's got some flair for a target man. There's Acosta going to go around his man. Oh, he's tripped in the box. That was a kung fu takedown right there. I don't know. A little bit of jiu-jitsu going on there with the leg sweep. No, none of that. None of that really works. But, all right, here we go. Alcantara missed the penalty, but he's there. It's just stuck on the doorstep. That's twice this season he's done that. He missed the penalty, gets his own rebound and puts it in. This is the problem with getting rid of Ulloa and not having Ulloa in the lineup. Is he's our best penalty man. There he is. Nice stop from Norfelt, but then he flops around like a fish and doesn't actually grab the ball. So Alcantara is able to finish it off. So there we go. 2-0 now. It's going to be very difficult for them to come back. We might have to go to counterattack here. They look to be pressing their defense up the field. Get it to Manning. But if we can just hold on to the ball, I think we'll be okay. Because they're going to be outnumbered here on this end of the field. Escobedo into Manning. Manning shot. That was kind of a lazy shot, but he had to operate in a tight space there. Escobedo. Ooh, one of our guys went running for that, but Norfelt was able to snatch it out of the air. Watched a little bit of soccer today. Woke up early and saw West Ham versus Everton. There's a lot of relegation talk going on, not between those two teams, but between a lot of other teams. I guess it's that time of year. Oh, there's Escobedo with a nice steal at midfield. Can we counterattack, turn this into offense? He's jumping over players. He's going around players. They can't stop him. Guevara gets it out wide to Acosta. Let's see if he can go around his man. No, not going to try it. Just going to get it to Alcantara. Fires a shot. This is fine. 51 minutes down. Yeah, relegation battles going on in real life. No relegation here in the MLS. Seems to be only one MLS game. Oh, look out, look out. Oh, Sanchez with a nice stop. I thought that was going to be a goal for sure, but Sturridge, not quite his fearsome self. No relegation in the MLS. There's only one MLS game going on today. It looks like Houston versus San Jose. So I'll watch that if it's on TV. There's a Mexican League game on as well. Cruz Azul versus Guadalajara. I'll watch that. I saw the Notre Dame spring game today. That was another thing. I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of the spring game or not, but there's a free kick from Thompson. No. In college football, American football, the NCAA has rules that says these teams, they can't train all year long because these kids are supposed to be going to college, right? They're supposed to be going to class and learning things. So they have certain times of the year where the teams can practice in an organized way, and one of those they get about 15 weeks, I think, in springtime where they can train as a team. So they call that spring football, and it usually ends with a big intra-squad scrimmage where they play against each other, and they have all the fans come down. It's usually free. They usually have, just make it a big deal for kids and alumni and all that stuff to come back and get a look at the team before the season starts. Ooh, there's a shot from Thompson. And it goes on all over the country. My local team here, Michigan State, we had ours like a month ago, our spring game. But Notre Dame is one of those teams where if you don't know anything about college football, you might have at least heard of Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish. Because they've been playing football for, Oh, what a shot. Guevara using that long shot ability for his 4th goal of the season. There we go, and that clinches the U.S. Cup right there. No way they can come back from 3 goals down, 86 minutes down. Guevara, here he goes. Just takes a couple of touches, not marked very tightly at all, and then bang, cross his body. Nice. Well accurate shot there. So yeah, Notre Dame, I mean, they're the one college football team that might be known outside the United States. They even play a few games outside the United States. They usually go over to Ireland, play in Dublin, every few years they go over there. I'm not sure what kind of special dispensation they get for that because most college teams are not really allowed to travel that far. There are rules about travel and things like that, so they must get some kind of special dispensation. Like, here's another chance. Acosta to Alcantara. Thompson with a shot, deflected wide. I think college basketball teams, once every 4 years, they're allowed to travel abroad, so maybe that's what it is for Notre Dame football as well, but I don't know any other team that does that on a regular basis. I know one year, like in the late 80s, Michigan State played a game in Japan. That was an interesting idea. But I don't know of too many other teams that do things like that. All right, so we're in our 90th minute here. 1 minute of stoppage. Johnson might get one last shot. There's Van de Castile taking a sort of ill-advised little chip shot. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. There we are. U.S. Cup victory, our first piece of hardware of the season. So there we go. That secures our Champions League for next season. So I think what I'm going to do with this save is I'll keep playing this save as long as we qualify for the Champions League and until we win the Champions League. So that's going to be the final goal for this save. Win that elusive Champions League, which no American team, no North American team, American, United States of American team. It's hard when you're dealing with North America to call us America because, like, technically everybody here is America, right? Mexico, they're American. Canada, they're American. So the USA, no team from the USA, from the MLS, has won the North American Champions League. So let's try to fix that, and we'll keep playing this save until we do. So let's take a look at the highlights here. Manning was one of our key players here. Goal, 7.3 ratings, good job. But Acosta was the man of the match. 10 interceptions, 3 tackles, 3 headers, 8.7 rating, and an assist. Distance run, 9.3 miles. So very, very good game from Acosta. Overall, Valenzuela in the defense with 14 interceptions. Govera playing well, 9 interceptions and a goal. Alcantara, 92% passing from Alcantara, and Zamora, 90% from Van de Castile. So we just really dominated that game. Take a look at the stats real quick. Anything sticks out at us? No. Lots of very good ratings. Alcantara actually had the lowest rating at 6.9. So he must have made some mistakes out there, considering his passing was so good and he scored a goal, and his rating is still only 6.9, so something must have happened there. But everybody else had over a 7 rating, even a few guys, 4 guys in the 8 point and higher ratio. So we're looking very, very good there, performance-wise, goal-wise, score-wise. There it is. FC Dallas wins the U.S. Cup. This is our second U.S. Cup that we've won, so that's a very good piece of hardware on a breezy evening at Children's Mercy Park. FC Dallas Jeff Zamora lived the dream of many supporters as he lifted the U.S. Cup. Is that really the dream? I don't know. I mean, it's good. It's fun. But I don't know if that's the dream. Target man Ben Manning gave FC Dallas the lead with a towering header from close range. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's see. Post-match press conference. I don't care about that. I'm going to send the assistant to that one. FC Dallas receives $250,000 for winning the U.S. Cup. That's pretty good. Let's see. The fanzine. The FC Dallas fanzine commented that Zebu Nation has shown staunch commitment to the supporters by winning this trophy. Nice. The board are pleased. I don't think they had much. The U.S. Cup isn't high on their list of priorities, but they're still happy we won it nonetheless. FC Dallas favorite Kenny Cooper had words of encouragement for FCD boss Zebu Nation following his U.S. Cup successors. Although many had expected them to win, Nation handled the pressure of expectancy well and showed a great deal of spirit. All right. Acosta impresses. Yes, excellent job. Acosta now has transitioned into that reserve role a little bit. So he's kind of our stopgap, a guy we can put a lot of different positions. We can put him at left back, right back, defensive midfielder, ball-winning midfielder. So he's really one of our fix-it men out there. We got a problem, just plug in Acosta, and we'll do okay. So there we go. U.S. Cup victory under our belt. Let's see what we got coming up on the schedule. A couple of Champions League games. I think what we'll do is we'll finish out the season and either show you this final Champions League game versus Saprissa or the final MLS game against Columbus. I'm not sure that either one of those are going to be too consequential, but might be good just to show you that. Get ready for the playoffs. And I think what I'll do in the playoffs this season, I kind of discovered it by accident last season in the playoffs when I had a recording issue. But I think what I'll do is when I get to the first or second leg of a playoff series, I'll play the first leg and not record it, and then just do a review of it, and then play the second leg. That way, I don't spread out these videos too much. So we'll have all the playoff rounds will each be one video, because I don't do editing. So I've noticed what a lot of other YouTubers do is they'll play both videos or both games, record both games, but just edit the videos together. And that's not really my thing. Also, I think that burns people out. I've seen a couple of YouTubers lately who stopped uploading FM videos, even like in the middle of their seasons. They stopped uploading, and I think maybe it's due to like the burnout and not having enough time to edit and that kind of stuff. So one of the reasons, it's not just a selfish reason of I'm too lazy to edit, but it's the kind of thing that keeps me going. I can keep recording video after video after video and not have to worry about editing. I just have to worry about talking. And that's the kind of thing that makes it easy to do these videos, which makes it easy to keep going. So there you go. Rationale number 357 as to why I don't edit my videos. So anyway, we're going to come back for some sort of season wrap-up video. Hopefully we can work our way up to the top of MLS. Right now it's all Western Conference teams at the top of the table here for the Supporters Shield. We're in 4th place, following San Jose, Sporting Kansas City, and Minnesota. We just drubbed Sporting Kansas City, so maybe we can catch them. We're only 3 points behind them, 5 points behind Minnesota. So I think, and we've got a game in hand too. So I think Supporters Shield isn't out of the question this year. So if we could win the U.S. Cup, Supporters Shield, MLS Cup, get the triple crown of U.S. soccer, that'd be pretty good. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. That'll be for next time. So until then, for the season wrap-up and review, we'll see you later. Bye.